guys, it's me, Rachel, here with Sons of Tempo, Cane Corso. So I'm out here with the birds, with the cheekans. We built our temporary chicken coop. It is really just the cheapest thing that we could do, since we are going to be moving to Tennessee. And so we wanted it to be cheap and easy to put together, easy to move. And yeah. So this is what we built. I haven't taken all the tabs off of the zip ties yet, but there they are. We've got the tarp for the shade. It's reflective. Food, water. We'll hang these up later. And we're still going to be moving them in at night until we feel more comfortable about basically like what we're going to do. So anyway, so we would like to have something that we can like put them in at night. Maybe I'll build a like a box at night. We also need to I'm going to build a perch for them to be on in here as well. I think I'm going to basically build like a triangular design with the with this stuff here with the PVC. Basically do like, you know, like a wide and then it comes up to a T, basically, you know what I mean, like a pyramid, like a long pyramid. Anyway, this is their first time outside. They've been doing really good so far, as far as like growing up in our house. And they were really getting way too big for that box. And so I had to really kind of think fast. And I mean, as you guys know, I had already been thinking about doing this. And I guess we'll just see how it does. I have more of this, it's like called like chicken fencing or whatever. I have more of that to put over the top of this thing at night. That way they are protected if in case we do decide to start keeping them out here at night. As you can see, we do have 2 roosters. I think they're called cockerels. So we do have 2 for sure. You can see they're big red, I don't know what they call that thing. It looks like a crest to me, but let's see if I could get in there. So there's one of them there. And then there's a bug that is on me. It's annoying me. And there's one more. I think he has his head down somewhere. There they are. They're both right by each other right there. So yeah, so they're all doing really well. They're starting to peck around and get into all the bugs and the goodness that is the nature here. They still got their food. They still got their water. And yeah, they've got grass and anything that they would want. And then, like I said, they've got their shade. They're also I'm in my kind of like, I have like a grove almost. So there's like trees, like overhanging trees over them. And then this is like a nice quiet little, let me see, I'll do a bigger one. There you go. There's a nice little grove here. So yeah. Now granted, I am in the learning process. You know, I've never had chickens before, but there's a first time for everything. And what I do find is that a lot of people have different ways of doing things. There's a family that I was speaking to that has had chickens for years and years, and they do a very simple setup. They don't even do like boxes. They just have they have a box like this, and then they have or I would say a pen like this. They fill it up with like almost 3 inches of pine shavings, and then they have a perch. And they said that the chickens will lay in the shavings, and so they go through kind of with a rake and they kind of fish the eggs out, and then they actually open up the pen and they let them kind of like wander around. And so So anyway, so I may end up doing that. I'm not sure. I guess I kind of want to feel these guys out and see how they're doing. See kind of how they're responding to the environment and how the environment is responding to them. Pardon me, before I make any kind of definitive decisions on how, pardon me, I should run things. I'm also possibly going to want to get something that can kind of guard them. So I have the dogs, but it's not really practical to keep the dogs out during the heat of the day or even at night, really. I mean, my dogs are inside dogs, spoiled dogs. But I may, like I've heard that possibly like turkeys can do well to kind of keep an eye. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, this is where we're at now. With the whole virus thing, it's hard to know, as you guys know, I want to move to Tennessee, but it's hard to know when that's going to happen. Sometimes, oh, are you sick? You got the corona? Huh? You got that corona, boy? He's like, no, it's allergies. Everybody's saying that in Austin. Everywhere you go, you're like, it's allergies, because we all have allergies right now. I've been clearing my throat like crazy and having to tell people. I went to Sally Beauty Supply. I should update you guys. I'm removing the black dye from my hair. My hair is like kind of like a dark reddish brown, and I have, as I've been getting older, my hair has been slowly turning gray. And unfortunately, when you have gray hair, and your hair is dyed black, when you do start to grow your roots out, to me, it looks really bad. I don't like it. I don't like the really dark black with then like the really light gray coming in. It just, to me, is just, you just have to end up changing. And I had tried to change it before and I fried my hair really bad. And because I used bleach, and I didn't know that there were products that will actually remove the hair color from your hair. And so oddly enough, I was looking and I found exactly that. I found a product that will remove hair dye. So I've done it once, actually did a pretty decent job. My ends are still black. But we've got I've been dyeing my hair black since I was 15 years old. And so anyway, you can do it plenty of times. Like, it's not one of those things that's super damaging to your hair or anything. So I'm going to do it a couple more times. It was able to lift the black on the ends to the point that now it actually looks red, which is cool with me. And so I've got 2 more of them I'm going to do. And then I bought some red dye. Now, I've done my hair red before. The only other color I've really ever done my hair is red. And that's because my grandma has red hair, my aunt has red hair. I have the skin tone for red hair. I've got freckles, I've got hazel eyes, I've got all of it it's very complementary to red hair. The problem is I've always bleached it to do it. And when you bleach your hair, especially hair like mine, it damages it, and damaged hair doesn't want to hold on to color. So you end up in this never-ending cycle of replacing the color that washes out. And on top of the fact that red hair, red pigment wants to wash out anyway. It's just the hardest color to keep. But luckily there are new advancements, and so there are ways of doing it. So I'm really excited about that. And maybe I'll even do some stuff on my beauty channel that I have not touched in forever, just because I've been so busy and I have not been in the mood to do my makeup. Savannah even wanted to do my makeup. I was like, no. And she's like, why not? And I was like, because if I put it on, I have to take it off, and I'm too lazy to take makeup off right now. But nonetheless, I was thinking about it. So maybe I'll do that for you guys. Like I said, I've already done it once, but it wouldn't hurt to do the other ones. And as far as showing you guys the process. And other than that, I've got the L'Oreal High Lift. I'm going to do a deep auburn red. So not a bright red, not a super high maintenance red. Not that all red isn't high maintenance, but I'm not doing a cherry bomb red. Not to mention I'm almost 40 years old. I don't need to be, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing my hair that color. Not to, criticize anybody that has, don't get me wrong. Like, there are people, I'm just not at that, like, I'm not living that lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not my life. So I want a more like natural, kind of red, like natural-ish kind of red. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll show you guys how I do it. I've, me, typical Rachel fashion, I've done unbelievable amounts of research on it, like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, which really just means that I've been staying up till unbelievable hours at night researching things, which has just not been good for my sleep schedule, but corona. So anyway, but yeah, I'm really excited that I was able to find a product that could remove the black hair dye without ruining my hair. I mean, that to me is like the coolest thing ever. So very excited about that. Like I said, we did the Coop, Savannah and I. So we've been working our little tails off. Savannah's inside doing her schoolwork. They have them doing online school right now, so that's what she's up to. That's about it. So really happy. The birds are doing really well. As you can see, they're these little I think they're called Wendettis, something like that. They are dominant little birdies, man. They'll run around telling everybody what to do, jumping on each other. We had one more, but that's the one that died, unfortunately, which were actually my favorites. They were really super cute. But unfortunately, that's the one that passed away. We did have one that died. And we have some that are significantly smaller, a couple that are just tiny little ones. But now that they've got more space, I think that I'm sure that they'll still get picked on to some degree, but hopefully not so much. So, yeah, that's about it. That's about where we're at on them. So figured I would give you guys a little update on them. I'll be keeping a close eye. Oddly enough, there's no predatory birds out right now. Usually there are, but not right now. But I'm sure that will change as the day goes on. And I guess that's about it. It's all I can really think of. So we'll just be kind of maintaining an eye on these guys. And like I said, making sure that their water stays full and that they've got lots of food out here. And I'm just really happy that they finally get to be outside where they kind of belong. And as they get older, once they actually get big enough, then I'll open it up and I'll let them wander a bit. My neighbors live pretty close. You can't see them because their house actually matches the sky over there, but their house is like pretty dang close. Like if I threw a rock hard enough and I was stronger, I would be able to hit their house. A guy could hit their house, that's for sure. So I don't know how well that will work. You know what I mean? I don't know that chickens respect property lines. So yeah. So unfortunately, these plots of land are narrow and long. So my property line goes back pretty far, but as far as the width of the property, it's not so big. But we'll see what's going on. So they were kind of huddled together, just not really knowing what to do, but now they're actually starting to move around a bit, starting to look for bugs, starting to scratch and eat and drink, and that makes me happy. And I hope that they grow big soon, and maybe hopefully being out here in the sunshine and with all the bugs and the grass, that they will grow up and be big cheekans, so that they're less likely to fall prey to some of the smaller animals. And I think it's kind of that's why we got quite a few of them. Is I'm almost, I hate to say it, I don't want to lose any of them, but I think that with anything, there's always the potential for things to happen. So hopefully it doesn't, but anyway, but if it does, we do have, quite a few of them. And like I said, we're going to put a top over it and, and see what happens. Hopefully they'll be fine, But if we lose some, we're kind of prepared for it. Mentally, we're trying to prepare for that, just in case. So it's taken us a while to get them to this size, so hopefully we don't have to start over again. But, it's just one of those things where when you live in the country, you kind of live and learn, and you got to kind of find a rhythm. And so anyway, and we can only do what we can do. You know what I mean? Especially as women, we do not have a man to help us, which I will tell you an embarrassing story. Whenever we went to open up this stuff, there's like a primer, and then there's a glue, and it's like in these little metal cans. And for the life of us, neither Savannah or I could get that thing open. We just could not open it. We did everything. We tried tricks that we found online, just could not open it. And we had to literally swallow our pride, walk over to our neighbor and borrow their husband to get him to open up our cans, which is, for me, just, I'm over here like I'm an independent woman, and I'm like, oh crap, I can't even open up this can. It's like so cliche, like, can you open this? Yeah, it's pretty lame. So, yeah, needs to say, I tell my daughter all the time, like, feminists only live in the city. You can't be, don't get me wrong, you could be independent, but the idea that you don't need no man ever, I'm sorry, honey, but that does not work when you live out here. It just doesn't. Anyway, so yeah, at least not for me. Maybe there's like a really super strong, like I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule. There's probably some super duper strong women and they have all the tools and all the know-how, but I unfortunately am not one of them. And believe me, I do a lot, you know what I mean? Like a lot. And there are just some things that I cannot do. So, anyway, I, just wanted to kind of share our progress with you guys, show you what's going on. And I hope that you guys, enjoy this. I hope you love the little birdies, little cheekans. Preacher likes the cheekans. Are you looking at them cheekans, Preacher? Are you looking at them cheekans? Yeah, you are. You're a good boy. And, yeah, I have noticed that the dogs completely ignore them now. They could just care less. Them being raised in a house like that, I think really did a number on helping them to not care so much. That's not to say that whenever they come out here that they won't pay attention. They obviously will, because there was a wooden barrier. They could hear the birds. They could see them when they first looked, but after a while they were ignoring them. And now it's going to be a new thing, a little bit new. So I'm not going to be surprised if, in fact, they do, pay attention. However, I'll get onto them. I'll, address any type of excitable energy that I think is not going to be safe. And we'll just kind of go from there. You know what I mean? It's just all you can do. So anyway, I am going to go inside and start messing with my hair. And I hope you guys are having a great Monday. And I'll talk at you later. Bye.